Hey guys, SkittleRampage here. Welcome back to a new video. I do hope you're enjoying your day today. So we're back with some Funko news updates. A little bit early, might I add, because these aren't even expected until Tuesday of next week. However, though, we have lots of really fun stuff to go over. Some sets you guys have been waiting on for a long time. Again, as I mentioned, a majority of what we're about to talk about is actually going live for pre-order this coming Tuesday next week. So make sure to stay tuned until then. And I'll also be doing an update video with new exclusives that we're going to get first looks at and all that. Before we get started though, we do have our question of the day, which is, do you have any Funko Pops in your collection that are kind of bleeding from a portion of their body? And I'm gonna go with Tanjiro here from Demon Slayer. Alrighty guys, so I think I want to start off with the horror today because one of these lines I really want to talk about, which is the Saw line. So obviously we've been waiting for new Saw Pops for a very long time, so let's check out these new ones. So in this set we do have Jigsaw, as well as Jigsaw with the pig mask as the chase. Great looking set. That's our first ever version of John Kramer as well. Then we also have a 10-inch Billy the Puppet and a pocket pop of that Billy the Puppet there. So this is where the concerns come in, because Billy, while he got an upgrade, he looks like he got some Botox. Like, the cheeks are bigger, which is really good because obviously in the puppet, that's like one of the more defining features for sure, other than the suit and all that. But I would say this pop is definitely an upgrade from the original one, but for some reason, I like the original one a little bit more. I'm not saying the original one doesn't have its issues too, because it doesn't entirely look like Billy either, but this newer one it looks so puffed up in the face, and the forehead is like you get what I mean? Like, for anybody who's seen the Saw movies and seen Billy in the movies, I even own a mask of Billy. I don't know why I own it. Just bought it for Halloween one day and I was like, oh, I just like this. Anyways, that aside, I've had a Billy mask for years, and the Pops just, neither one really look like Billy entirely, other than, you know, little features like the suit and, you know, obviously the little details like the coloring and all that. But I just feel like Funko kind of missed the ball on both, but I like the original one just slightly better for some reason. This new one just looks like Botox filled. But not to say that it's like entirely bad. I still think it looks cool. It's a 10-inch Billy, which is really awesome in itself. I would have preferred a 4-inch version though. I think a lot of people would, given the original ones are like, I think the original one still sits around like 60 to 80 bucks these days, maybe even higher than that. And then you have the bloody old exclusive one that's much more than that. However, I do believe we are getting an exclusive of him on the tricycle next week, so make sure to stay tuned for that if you're looking for a smaller Billy Pop, or you can also always pick up the Pocket Pop. Now moving on to another horror pop, we have a new Terrifier pop here, and this one's pretty graphic to be honest. So check it out, we do have Art the Clown with the candy bowl head there. There's candy, there's blood all over him. Man, his teeth are just disgusting too. But like I said, this is gruesome. I wasn't sure how far Funko was gonna go with this, but based off the, you know, scene when I did a Google search of this, it looks pretty accurate for the most part. They probably toned it down a little bit, obviously. But overall, again, I think it looks fairly accurate, and a lot of people are excited for this one. They have been just putting out Art the Clown Pops left and right, though. Very, very much pushing him, and it's worked. Like, he's been selling out left and right, to the point where the commons sold out. I get the exclusive selling, but the commons was nuts initially. Now they're obviously a little bit more readily available, but they could not keep up with production. Either way, though, this one's a common, so very easy to get. Let me know what you guys think about this new Art the Clown. Moving on to our final horror pop in this new set, we do have the Grabber here from Black Phone Movie. So this features him kind of sitting down in the chair. I don't know why, but this gives me heavy Buffalo Bill vibes from the Silence of the Lambs movie. However, I thought this was interesting that this is considered a Pop Plus because of the chair, but then you see the old Cookie Monster Pop, or not old, but fairly new in the last year. That one was just a normal Pop. It's not considered a Pop Plus, which is just weird because they're kind of the same. You could even argue that Cookie Monster's chair is bigger in this scenario, so he should be considered a Pop Plus and the Grabber not. But their definition of Pop Plus, premium, and all this is super weird compared to the Pop. I feel like the popularity of the Pop goes into play of the price increase, or what they label it as, 100%, because there's just no way that this Grabber Pop is Pop Plus by any means. Alrighty, so moving on to the anime, because I know a lot of you guys came here for these solo leveling Pops. So let's go ahead and check these out. This does include Sung Jinwoo here, so he does actually have a glow chase variation, and they kind of like cell shaded him, highlighted him with blue on his left half there, which is pretty interesting. I'm not really sure what I expected Jinwoo to look like, but like, I don't know. I think I expected a little bit more. I believe this is from his fight with the spider way early on in the series. So it's not like crazy bad looking. Again, I think I expected something different in my head, especially for the chase. I expected it just to be the normal one, like untrained, and then, you know, obviously when he trains more, he gets his Giga Chad look. I guess that's what I expected a chase bundle to look like, but it is what it is. I don't hate the pop. I just expected something different. And I think a lot of people agree with that. Though there are plenty of people who do not like this Jinwoo pop and they plan to pass on it, which I thought was kind of surprising, but I'm sure we're gonna get plenty from solo leveling here. We'll probably get another version of him down the line for sure. Moving on to the other pops, we do have Yu Jinho. I've seen a lot of people, every time I speak out against this man, a lot of people are like, well, I'm buying him. I'm sorry, I just didn't think he needed a pop. This feels like something that would just go on clearance because he's in the series, but he's not at the same time, you know? He plays an important part early on, but after that, it's just, he seems like a clearance character. Like, I don't see anybody talk about this guy. Moving on to the best pop in the set so far, in my opinion, is Igris here. So interesting enough, they made the Shadow one his normal, and then the Blood Commander, Red Blood Commander, his chase there. So it's very interesting that they kind of swapped them because normally the red one would be the normal and the shadow would be the chase. But I like both of them. They did a great job. I do kind of wish his shadow had his sword, like everybody's saying, but other than that, I think they both look great. Now the final one in here is Cha Hae-in here, and I think she looks pretty good with a little bit of an action pose in her armor there. I did actually see some comments of people saying that Cha Hae-in deserved to pop less than Jinho, and I'm like, I mean, she didn't really do a lot from what we've seen, so I kind of get it from that standpoint. At the same time, like, she's like the main girl love interest, I guess, technically. So for that alone, I think is why she needs a pop, and we just haven't seen enough from her yet. I don't know. She felt like nerfed because like I feel like they talked her up like crazy, and then when you see her in battle, she's just kind of like cannon fodder. Like I don't know, but you kind of get what I mean. But then again, who she was going up against, it's a little understandable. That man was a menace. For those who watch season 2, you know what I mean. So guys, that is your solo leveling common set. We are expected to get a couple exclusives next week. We may even see them very sooner than that, essentially. Usually we see the exclusives the night before or day of, so stay tuned on that. I know one exclusive at the very least that was leaked out was Beru, so we're expected to see him. Other than that, we might get a couple other characters, so stay tuned. For now, let me know what you guys think about this solo leveling set. Which ones do you like, and which ones will you be picking up? The next anime set we do have is Castlevania Nocturne here. This does include Alucard and Olrux. I actually really like how these turned out, and I love the fact that they colored their eyes. And again, these are dropping Tuesday. Next up for sports fans, we do actually have a mascot here for the WNBA, and that is Doppler here. So I actually initially thought this was Elmo when I first saw it. I was like, Elmo! And then I really looked at it, I was like, oh, not Elmo. That's Elmo's doppelganger. Doppler. You know you laughed. You kind of like, you thought about laughing. You might not have laughed, but you thought about laughing. I'll see myself out. Alrighty, moving on for Godzilla fans, a little bit of interesting designs here. I've seen people like this and not like it. So let's check these out. So this includes Mecha Godzilla, and then we also have Godzilla there. So they're actually in a, it's kind of like an art series design exactly with, I'm not exactly sure what this is supposed to be. It's just labeled as like an art series kind of line. If anybody knows like Godzilla more, let me know. Other than the movies, like the current movies, I don't really know too much about Godzilla other than what they told me in those movies. So if this is like a callback to something specifically, let me know in the comments below. But other than that, I think they look okay, but I wouldn't say these are the best ones to come out today. Next up, it looks like we got some more Street Sharks here, including Ripster and Big Slamoo here. So I don't really know too much about this series, definitely before my time, but all the pops have looked pretty good so far, and a lot of people are really excited for them. Alrighty, moving on for my Superman fans, a couple new things here. This does include Bullseye as Superman, a little bit of a Target collab here, which is pretty cool, and has the shopping bag there. This one's expected to release on June 8th and still available for pre-order. Now, another Superman exclusive over at Target we did get was Superman with the telephone booth there from one of the original Superman movies. So this one actually looks really awesome, and it's expected to come out in June. I think we showed this off in the last Funko News, but letting you guys know it is available for pre-order officially now if you want to grab it. Next up for Lilo and Stitch fans, we did get a couple new Stitch exclusives here. So first up, over at Box Lunch, available now is Watermelon Stitch here. I think this is one of the more fun-looking Stitch Pops. They seem to be doing a lot of Stitch stuff because leading up into the movie, but surprisingly enough, they're not actually doing any live-action Lilo and Stitch Pops yet. Haven't heard anything about them. We did get a line from the How to Train Your Dragon, obviously a different company altogether, but I was just surprised we didn't get any of these. And a few of the live-action movies we haven't gotten anything from, and then some we do. So I'm not really sure what the decisions are there. I figured live-action Lilo and Stitch Pops might do okay for Funko initially until we see the movie. But the Lilo and Stitch movie, compared to other live actions, looks fantastic in the trailer, so I guess we'll see. Anyways though, this Watermelon Stitch is actually part of Funko's new exclusive program there, where it's a limited piece and it has only 9,500 pieces worldwide. They did confirm this over on their Twitter page, so that's pretty interesting. It did initially sell out, or it was listed as sold out, but it's currently still in stock or available again, as of me looking about, I want to say like 45 minutes ago, so you can check Box Lunch. It might have sold out again, so go check it if you need it. Now, speaking of new Stitch exclusives, another 9,500 piece exclusive is Stitch with music headphones there as a Target exclusive, coming May 11th. So we should be getting first looks at that one probably tomorrow or maybe later today. We'll see, so stay tuned. Alrighty guys, so our final update for today's video is a new Funko Shop exclusive drop happening Monday, and this does include Mr. Knight here. So this one does have that glow chase, and you do have in-person looks at that from Funko. This will be dropping at the usual time on the Funko Shop at 9:30 a.m. PST, and I think there's about 6,000 stock loaded, so not a ton, but given it's a higher price point, he probably won't sell out. Well guys, that does wrap up all of the latest Funko news, drops, and updates for now. Again, majority of the newer commons and all that are dropping this coming Tuesday, so stay tuned on that. And we're also expected to see a bunch of different exclusives for a couple of these lines, so I'll keep you guys posted. I'll probably update you guys Tuesday now that I think about it, unless we get looks at like exclusives tomorrow for some reason. But if not, I'll do another full news video this coming Tuesday, so stay tuned. Make sure to leave a like on the video, as well as subscribe and click that notification bell if you're new here. And of course, let me know what you're most excited about out of all these new announcements. For now though, I do want to end off the video by saying a big shout out to all the awesome Patreon supporters of the channel. You guys are amazing for supporting myself and the channel. If you guys are interested and want to check out the Patreon, the link is down below. We have a Patreon Discord where we share a lot of information, news, restocks, updates, links, and more. And finally, make sure to follow me on all my social medias at SkittleRampage over on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and my Facebook page, so you can stay up to date. All right, love you guys. See you guys in the next one. See you guys later. Bye.